Hello, this is Tom Cloud. I want to give you an update on several things I've been talking to Steve about and just kind of give you an in look in our business. This morning on Wednesday, the 8th of June, woke up and the World Bank had changed the revision from a world growth rate of 2.9 down to 2.4, which is basically a 20% reduction. And I want to read to you what the World Bank said this morning. They said that in an environment of anemic growth, the global economy faces pronounced risk, including a further slowdown in major emerging markets, sharp changes in financial market sentiment, stagnation in advanced economies, a longer than expected period of low commodity prices, geopolitical risk in different parts of the world, and concerns about the effectiveness of monetary policy in spurring stronger growth. And we've seen gold jump $13 and silver has now gone over $17 when 1 week ago it was having trouble holding $16. So we've had a 6% rise just overnight from that. Just to give you a review of things you've got to be looking at, number two is we're in that 3-month window when China has to announce their gold reserves to get the special drawing rights in joining the IMF on October 1. So sometime between now and September 15th, we will know what their gold holdings are, and it could be a launching pad for gold if it's higher than expected or higher than the 8,163 tons that is supposedly in Fort Knox. I'm going to jump around and talk about different subjects that Steve received questions about and I have directly. The next one is when we're talking about buying coins, we're talking about bullion coins, gold or silver, that go up or down based on the spot price of gold and silver, with an emphasis also on premiums that have potential to jump more than a normal product if certain things happen, like a COMEX default, in which case you would see 100-ounce COMEX bars not only go up the silver content, but you could have the price go up as people scour the market trying to buy 100-ounce COMEX bars for delivery. So we have a lot of our bigger clients like to buy COMEX bars. But the main thing you need to remember, you do not want numismatics. I can sell you numismatics. If you want them, we sell those for 4% over our cost. And anything you want, let me know and we'll get it for you. I've been in the numismatic business since the late 70s also. So it's not anything something I know about, but I personally don't hold one rare coin in my portfolio. If you do have them, give us a call and Dan or myself will walk you through, and we'll even sell you for them for nothing if you put the money back in to bullion coins, which is a hard deal to turn down. But you can just look at performance since 2000. Gold's gone from 256 to basically 1250, 1260 this morning. And the stock market and the rare coin index have both gone up about 65, 70% over a 16-year period. So one's gone up 500%, one of them's gone up 80, 60 to 80%, and I expect the same type returns going forward. We had another question about the hunts, and I was in the business. I was a young 29, 30-year-old whippersnapper in this business, been in it for 3 or 4 years when the hunt debacle came in 80 and they tried to corner the silver market. What most people didn't realize, as this astute listener said, is the hunts had most of their silver bought. They didn't get out on time on all of it, but they did on some of it and had a profit. But what drove it up the last $20 was institutional money following the footsteps of the hunts. And also, I had my mother's friends calling up wanting to buy 1, 2 ounces of silver for $50, $100. I mean, the little guy out there was going crazy trying to get even $100 worth of silver if they could find somebody to sell it to them. So it was a conglomeration of things going on. But it wasn't just the hunts. Quarter market, paper market, fiscal market, and then them getting stuck with it. That wasn't the way it happened. So I hope that answers the question that they had. The next thing that we got was a follow-up question that you can look at the video I did exclusively on the cloud hard asset storage program for 20 or 30 basis points compared to what we're seeing in ETFs at 50, 45 basis points for silver, 40, 35 basis points for gold, and we're doing 20 and 30, and you have the gold in your hands in your account. So this is just absolutely important. The other thing I want to announce, we've had several calls about, do we store in New Zealand? And yes, we do use a storage facility in New Zealand. It's more expensive than what we have in Canada or Delaware, but I'd be happy to talk if you want to diversify and send some of your gold to New Zealand. I wouldn't recommend the silver. It's too costly to get it down there from the U.S. So we don't want to talk about that. But hopefully, let me look quickly if I've covered any other questions I've left off that I want to address. We talked about the hunts. We talked about numismatics. I'll talk a little bit about who's buying now. It's incredible what's going on right now. I've got clients flying in from out of the country. I'll have my third one this week that I'll meet with on Friday. The big investor is moving. We're not doing a lot of number of sales right this minute. It's kind of quiet in the summer season, but it seems the big people know they don't mind buying 3 months early, 2 months early. They'd rather be 3 months early than a day late. Just look at people worried about silver going to 16. Here it is over 17. And as I keep saying, it's poised to go much, much higher. You read Steve's reports, you know what's going on in the fundamental issues at the Canadian Mint, what's going on at the Perth Mint, with them running out of kookaburras. And we're seeing now the privy monkeys, and they run out up in Canada. Some dealers still have some, but you can't buy them anymore. So we are seeing products that have limited mintage going out, like the privy monkey and like the kookaburra, but we're still seeing that we can get the Australian kangaroos and certainly the Canadian maple leaves. So we're seeing right now the large investor buying, using one of the storage facilities is that, and we're seeing really about 60% silver, which is a little, when I did some numbers this morning to prepare before I did this, I was surprised. I said we've done a little bit over 60% in silver this year, which has never happened in my 40 years of doing this. Gold has always been, except for maybe 1980, a month or two during the hunt deal. But no, right now it's just buying, and people are buying 4.9 products. It's amazing that big money wants 4.9 gold bars or 4.9 maple leaves, Austrian Philharmonics. So really, we're just selling primarily 4.9s gold bars, maple leafs, some gold buffaloes, sell a little bit of gold eagles and Krugerrands, but not much compared to the 4.9 products, as people look at a product they can melt and take with them that didn't have an alloy in it, like a gold eagle or like a Krugerrand. So we think that's very, very important there. Last thing I want to end with is, last night I was watching Jeopardy with my wife. We were just sitting there relaxing after dinner, and a question came up, and all three of the contestants hit the button, and all three of them missed it. And they were talking about abbreviations, and the FDIC was the Federal Depository Service Insurance Corporation. Not one of them got it right. They missed a word, but then it hit me like a ton of bricks. When I set my company up, lawyer says, how do you want to set it up? Well, you want limited liability, where you won't be taken if you make a mistake. They can take your corporation's assets. And that's the reason we have corporations in this world, is to limit liability. So it hit me like a ton of bricks. Why is a private company, the Federal Depository Insurance Corporation, a corporation? Why is it? Because they want limited liability. So then you go to their website and you see they have less than 5% assets to cover the amount of money they have insured in the bank accounts in this country. So what happens when one or two major banks go under, or they start having bail-ins like they've had in Cyprus and Austria and Greece and other countries? What happens when they run out of those funds? There's no liability as a corporation. So it just hit me. I never really thought of it, but just sitting there watching Jeopardy last night. So you need to be thinking about what happened to people just a few weeks ago in Austria when they woke up and the banking system took part of their money in a bail-in procedure. And please remember, since October of 14, when the G20 met, every penny you have in the bank is not your money. They'll give it back to you if it's there, but the government will never again bail out the banking system. The bail-in will come from you and me, the people that have money in the bank. Lastly, let me say, if you are looking for an IRA, precious metals IRA, you can talk to us. We can tell you how to set it up. And for ones of you that haven't been on here before, we mark gold up 2.5% and silver 3% over our cost. We pay the postage and insurance. You get 100% of the back end that we get from a major wholesaler, and we pay the shipping and insurance to you. And identify yourself as a Sirocco follower or listener, and you'll never have any shipping charges. We'll always ship to you free when you buy. So hopefully we've answered some of the questions, most pressing questions, and I'll be back in 2 weeks with an update. And if you want to email me through the website, cloudhardassets.com, a question, I'll deal with it in 2 weeks. Until then, this is Tom Cloud signing out.